I'm not gonna lie. I think I just had another like awakening and moment for myself creatively. And I'm trying not to freak out because it's still in alignment to what I want to do. But I'm still kind of freaking out in a little bit, It's Friday. I didn't post anything today. And today I went live because I just felt the energy to go live to talk about branding and storytelling. And I was talking about how House of M really became a House of M and really establishing that. And then after live, I wanted to take a break and I wanted to get back into, sending out brand emails, really showing myself on UGC content, like really just showing my creative side, because that's also, again, a part of House of M. And then I instantly got this download and I was getting ready to post something on Instagram, confirmation burp. And the thing that I saw, or the thing that I heard was, should we even be fucking doing this? Should we even be fucking doing this? Meaning, do I need to talk about branding? Do I need to talk about these things? Because I've asked all of you on all of my platforms if this is something you guys really want to fucking learn. Is this something that you guys want to hear about from me? And the majority of you guys literally have told me no. Majority of you guys have said, we just want to see your lifestyle. We want to see you vegan cooking. We want to talk about spirituality. We just love you showing up and you being your creative self and talking about these things. It's not necessarily you guys are following me for branding. It's not necessarily that those are the things you guys want me to talk about, especially here on YouTube. And when I'm looking at my engagement on TikTok, I'm looking at my engagement on Instagram. Yes, you guys get it. But at the same time, I don't think you guys really care about it. Like, you like my energy. You like Candace. But I don't think the topics that I really talk about really matter. And I felt like, okay, well, damn. Realization for me, do I just need to let this go and really be creative? Because one of the one things I will say is that me starting this whole thing out and doing Vlogmas was to be consistent, was to be creative, really to push myself out there that I can show up and produce content and still be my creative self in many different ways. And I have proven that already. But I also want to say that when I was looking through my progressed natal chart, I was looking at my rising sign. I was looking at my midheaven. I was also looking at my part of fortune, as well as my 2nd and 10th house. And the energy of where I'm currently at right now, despite what my natal chart said when I was born, is to show up, is to talk about vulnerability and to be creative and to really showcase me out to the world right now. And it makes sense of where I'm at, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. It makes a lot of sense. And I paused here and I was like, not in the sense of I want to cry, but in the sense of like, okay, like I've had this channel for years and I've never took it seriously, but I always wanted to create. I fumbled a bag in a lot of ways. I know there's a lot of ways that I could have showed up, and especially with Galactic Mystic, because I feel like Galactic Mystic absolutely was my personal brand. She was a place for me to be Candace, to talk about the silly things, to talk about the spiritual things, to talk about growth, mindset, to really show up as me. And as I'm saying this, it's 3:33 on the clock. It's motherfucking 3:33 on the clock. I was me. And it's not like I'm not me now, but at the time of me showcasing Galactic Mystic, I was able to just be me. And even though I've been doing that for the past couple weeks, and even though I've been in this mindset of like, and doing UGC and all that stuff, I do see that the energy of House of M being not so much 60% branding and 40% creative, but I see it now being 60% creative and 40% branding. Like, that literally was the transition I felt. I even pulled some cards because I felt an energy enter the room when I got that indication, that internal like ding. And I asked the energy within the room, like, is this why you're here? And they said, yeah. We're here to help you understand that you were on the right track with getting onto your creativity. And your creativity is what you always wanted to be, even if that is in the form of video and photography, a speaker, a motivational individual, someone who people can relate to. That's just you right now. And it's okay if you don't talk about branding all the time. It's okay if you step away from doing that, because you can still do the coaching. You can still do all those things in the back burner. You can still talk about it. But I think they want me to kind of switch it, how I was really going ho for branding. And not really going ho, but just like really focusing on that. And I think they really want me to focus more on creative Candace. Yeah. Which is kind of like a year later I was doing this, but I didn't have the sense of knowing that that's what I really wanted to do, and that I could still do all those other things, but that's really what I want to do. And to sit here and talk about it with you guys right now, it seems very set in stone a little bit. And I'm like, okay, like it's such a quick thing for me. Like, I'm not sad, I'm not angry, I'm not frustrated, I'm not like, what the fuck? Like, I get it. I get it in so many different ways, that I think because I've seen this energy within me for so long, it's kind of like now is the time, Candace, for you to rip off the Band-Aid and just say, fuck it. Fuck it. How much more can you lose other than continue to bet on yourself? And every single time I continue to bet on myself, I continue to align with myself. So with that, I'm going to go back to editing. I've been not creating content. Right now, I'm actually developing my email signature for UGC. I haven't really done that, but I decided to just like look a little bit more professional, girl. So I'm doing that. I'm also going to be pitching to a few brands that I saw. I took some notes and I did their research on their business and whatnot. And I see a lot of things that I could be doing for them in the form of content creation. Which, side note, I've kind of had this energy to do all week. I just haven't done it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put you guys on the other side. You'll probably see me, doing this from the bedroom because I'm not in my office. But yeah, I thought I just wanted to share this little moment with y'all. So for the remaining of the day, I emailed about 4 different brands, really checking in on their marketing research, looking at who I need to contact within the business to really provide my UGC portfolio and say that this is who I am, this is what I see your business needs, and this is how I can actually set you up for success in regards to my content creation. And it was a little draining, I'm not gonna lie, just because it is time consuming to sit down and to write out pitch emails that are actually genuine and not just like, hey, give me free product to do UGC content for you. So that was a good couple hours. And then by the time it was done, it was probably like around like 5:30ish. And honestly, I realized that I hadn't really eaten all day, and I decided to make myself some dinner. Now, I haven't really had quinoa in a while, and I'll dive into quinoa in another video, especially since I know a lot of you guys had requested that I talk about how to really start being a vegan and how to really implement meals. And quinoa was actually one of the first ingredients or food items that I put into my diet. So when you have quinoa, please make sure you are washing it, because if you can tell here, the water was really gross and milky. I had to wash it about 4 times to make sure that the water came out clear and that the quinoa was actually washed. After that, I put it in my Food Ninja, which, by the way, this Food Ninja is like the shit. I mean, you guys haven't seen me make so many things out of this thing. And I really love that fact that this is the thing that my mother gave me as a welcoming gift into my apartment last year. So really love it. I treat quinoa the same way I do when it comes to like noodles and stuff. So I like to season my things. So you see me put in olive oil, salt, and because quinoa, you can really taste it for like a sweet or savory, I really wanted a more garlicky taste to it. And then after that, I put on the steamer lid and I let it boil for about 5 minutes, and then it steams and cooks it for the next like 10 minutes. So that went pretty well. And while that was actually cooking and steaming as it will, I went ahead and started to make my goulash, if you will, in regards to the topping. Now, this quinoa bowl is something that I love to do. Quinoa is something that is very versatile, and when I make my quinoa bowls, I can do it in any form. It could be like a breakfasty version, a more savory, a more spicy. It's just a cool way for you to actually have quinoa into your diet. And so I'm using the rest of the kale that I have and then some garlic as well, putting oil in the pan and then cutting up the tofu. If you guys didn't see my previous video in regards to why my tofu is this kind of spongy, please go watch it, or make sure I'll link it up here. But I freeze all of my tofu before I put it in a refrigerator so I get that spongy. It's a texture thing for me as a Virgo. I need that texture to kind of not be like silky. You know, when you grab tofu, it's a little like ugh, but when you put it in the freezer and then you thaw it out, it does get that spongy, crumbly kind of vibe for you. Again, a texture thing. So I forgot to show you guys, I did put salt in first before I put in the garlic, and then I really wanted a different vibe, so I put Cajun seasoning in. And then right after the Cajun seasoning, I went ahead and put in the black pepper. And I have to be careful with this thing because it can really explode with the pepper. And then after that, I did add some nutritional yeast on top of the crushed pepper. The nutritional yeast is kind of like a nice barrier to add a little bit more cheesy flavor to it, even though you're going to see me put in additional cheese into it. Now, the cheese I put into it is actually a vegan version, so it's not like a normal, cheese, if you will. Got to keep the gut good, so vegan all the way. And then after that, we went ahead and put the bowl together. It was really tasty. I'm not gonna lie. It was very gooey and like spicy, but yet it was good. It was very hearty. And what I really love about quinoa is that it seems like it wouldn't be fulfilling because it's light. It totally is. Like, you can eat a lot of it and not feel bad about having that quinoa in your diet or your belly or whatever you want to call it. Other than that, this is today's video. Tomorrow, my oldest Isaiah will be here, and I'm super excited for that. So I kind of kept the rest of the night kind of chill. I started to watch John Wick. That was on Pluto TV, which, by the way, Pluto TV has a crap ton of free movies, and they actually had all 3 of the John Wick movies. So I binge watched it while I was editing some videos, and then I had a good conversation with Bae before I went to bed. And that was pretty much my night. I really just want to say thank you so much for everyone who watches my videos and who is subscribed to the channel. And I just want to also just say I appreciate every single one of you guys watching my content, and I'm sending you so much love and light. And I'll catch you guys at my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.
What you thinking, what you drinking, how you living, what I'm giving, whatever it is, I guarantee that I'll be waiting.